Noorsat satellite station in Tel Lumiere TV. Let's start with the headlines. His Holiness Pope Francis concludes a successful historical visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain. The anniversary of the Amman hotel bombing will not discourage Jordan from confronting terrorism and extremism. We also have the Russian Orthodox Church presented the Medal of Glory and Dignity to Pope Tawadros II. Welcome back. Last Sunday, His Holiness Pope Francis concluded his apostolic visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain, during which he met His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and a number of official and religious figures and parishioners from different countries of the Arab Gulf. It is the 39th visit by the Supreme Pontiff outside the Vatican and the second of its kind to the Gulf region after his visit to the United Arab Emirates in 1919. During the passage of the plane of His Holiness Pope Francis over Jordanian lands, His Majesty King Abdullah II made a phone call with His Holiness in which he said, "You are flying over the Holy Land on your journey to Bahrain to promote the values of coexistence that unite us. We pray that the impact of your message calling for peace, human love and fraternity extends beyond concluding your journey in our region and around the world." His Holiness replied, "As I fly over your country on my way to Bahrain, I send my greetings and best wishes to your Majesty, the Hashemite family and all Jordanians. I pray to God to bless your country with abundant good." Within the framework of his weekly Christian teachings, and as he habitually does every week, His Holiness Pope Francis welcomed the believers coming from all over the world to the Vatican, where His Holiness spoke about his apostolic visit to Bahrain and said,
"Most Holy Father, the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors wish to express to you their sentiments of deep respect and esteem, and to assure you of their prayers for your ministry as the successor of Peter. At the end of the audience, we will sing together the Our Father in Latin. His Holiness will then impart his apostolic blessing, which he extends in a particular way to the members of your families at home. He also intends to bless any religious articles you may have brought for this purpose. And in a special way, his blessing goes to your children, the elderly, and those who are sick. The following is a summary of the Holy Father's catechesis at the beginning of this audience. Dear brothers and sisters, my recent apostolic journey to Bahrain was occasioned by the International Forum for Dialogue, which brought together leaders of different religions in the service of peace. Dialogue is, in fact, the oxygen of peace, opening minds and hearts to encounter and breaking down the walls of division. In our world, torn by war and conflict, religious and civil leaders and all persons of goodwill are challenged to look beyond narrow interests and to seek the unity and peace of the entire human family. My visit to Bahrain, a predominantly Muslim country, was yet another step in the promising journey of dialogue, encounter, and fraternal cooperation between Christians and Muslims. In those days, I was also able to join Christian leaders in a choral prayer for peace and to celebrate Holy Mass with the Catholic community of Bahrain and the greater Gulf region. May the prayers of Our Lady of Arabia confirm them in their joyful witness of faith and help all believers to persevere on the path to peace, understanding, and fraternal coexistence.
Last Wednesday coincided with the 17th anniversary of the crime of the 3 hotel bombings in Amman, which resulted in the death of 57 martyrs and more than 115 wounded. His Majesty King Abdullah II has emphasized on more than one occasion that the terrorism that is ravaging the region seeks to distort the image of Islam and its tolerant message. His Majesty stressed that the terrorist attacks that targeted the security of the homeland increased the determination of the Jordanians to eliminate terrorism and break its thorns. And although the painful incident is still fresh in the memory, the Jordanians have engaged with their solid will from the moment the crime occurred to pick up its ugly repercussions. And Jordan confirms at all times the forces of darkness, evil, and terrorism will not discourage it from proceeding with confidence and steadfastness in its victorious path and its righteous path. The Russian Orthodox Church presented the Medal of Glory and Dignity to Pope Tawadros II, Pope of Alexandria, on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of his sitting on the See of Saint Mark, in appreciation of the efforts of His Holiness in developing relations between the Coptic and Russian churches. Bishop Anthony Voloko, head of the Department of Foreign Relations of the Russian Church, praised the distinguished relations between the Coptic and Russian churches, and he also praised the prominent role of Pope Tawadros II in strengthening and growing the relationship between the two churches. For his part, Pope Tawadros praised the mutual activities that take place between the two churches through the joint committee between them. He also thanked the Russian Church for providing facilities for the Coptic Church to serve its children there and to provide places for prayer. He also expressed his appreciation for the Russian Church and for presenting him the Medal of Glory and Dignity. The Businesswomen Cultural Forum organized a dialogue seminar on the child rights law in Jordan. The seminar was held at the Young Women's Christian Association in Amman and was moderated by Her Excellency Reem Abu Hassan and was attended by Dr. Muhammad Miqdadi, Secretary General of the National Council for Family Affairs, and Mrs. Fidel Hammoud, former head of the Office of Opinion and Legislation, and lawyer Lubna Dawani, a human rights activist, in the presence of a number of officials and a group of researchers and those interested in children's affairs. The speaker at the symposium emphasized that the care and protection of children is a protection for the life and safety of societies. In order to protect our children, the laws and legislation in our country must focus on the role of fatherhood and motherhood, in addition to the role of the state, the school, and the street, in order to give our children the reasons for happiness, safety, and protection. The Department of Antiquities in the Emirate of Al-Quwain in the United Arab Emirates has announced the discovery of the ancient Christian monastery in the emirate, likely dating back to more than 1,400 years. The monastery, located on an island and sand dunes, shed new light on the history of early Christianity along the shores of the Arabian Gulf. It is the second monastery of its kind to be found in the Emirates. The Antiquities Office at Al-Quwain confirms that these two monasteries were lost under the sand due to the factors of time. Jordanian historian Radwan al-Farajat gave a lecture in English in the theater of the Petra Visitors Center, in which he pointed out that the first Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities was formed in Jordan in the year 1923, from which archaeological excavations began in Jordan, with hundreds of archaeological religious sites and historical churches were discovered. In the kingdom, al-Farajat mentioned that the signing of peace agreement in the year 1994 was a step in advancing Jordanian tourism towards more archaeological discoveries of hundreds of ancient churches in various Jordanian regions. He also emphasized that His Majesty King Abdullah II had a prominent role in supporting the city of Petra to be chosen among one of the 7 wonders of the world. Here, dear viewers, we have come to the end of our news, and those were the headlines. His Holiness Pope Francis concludes a successful historical visit to the Kingdom of Bahrain. The anniversary of the Amman hotel bombing will not discourage Jordan from confronting terrorism and extremism. The Russian Orthodox Church presented the Medal of Glory and Dignity to Pope Tawadros II. For more information, please visit our website www.noorsatjo.org. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, have a good day.